Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Iden. We have just wrapped up the second session of Winchester's Fall 2025 Town Meeting tonight on November 6th. So let's recap what we accomplished this evening, what Town Meeting accomplished this evening. Started off with Article 26, which was an article to increase the cost of living base for retirees, town employee retirees, from $14,000 to $16,000. We heard that would cost approximately $480 a year on average for the retirees, about $5 a month, cost to the town of $15,000 a year. However, we heard from the town comptroller that the town had anticipated covering all its pension liabilities ahead of the 2030 deadline by 2027. But this change would push that out to 2028 because she said it would cost about $2 million to fully fund this for the life of the retirees. Both the Select Board and the Finance Committee voted unfavorable action. A town meeting member said that the town has one of the best retiree health benefits, but this would push fully funding it to 2028. However, 102 to 45, it was passed. That's Article 26. We move back to Article 9, which was a request for $1.237 million for the repairs to the east side sewer system to mitigate inflow, which is basically stormwater runoff getting into the sewer system, and which increases the sewage costs that the town has to pay to MWRA. So doing these repairs would reduce the amount of sewage that is being sent out to Deer Island. We heard that a grant from the MWRA may be received, and if so, that will reduce the cost. The $1.237 million was passed. Moved on to Article 10. These are water system improvements, specifically a new pressure reducing valve in the area of Wildwood Street for $600,000. The valve, we heard the valve currently used there has been there since 1963. And this valve is needed to reduce the water pressure to the homes in that area. However, the town is only borrowing $167,000. The rest of the funds come from unexpended funds. That passed. Article 15 had the most debate of the night. There's a proposal to change town meeting governance from Robert's Rules to a rule book called Town Meeting Time. Pat Hall took the podium as the temporary moderator because Phil Frateroli, the present moderator, was presenting this. He said town meeting time adapts Robert Rules to Massachusetts town meetings. It's more readable. He said only 30 towns in the Commonwealth have representative town meetings as we do. He said there are other rules that are unique to the town. Any rule changes like this must be approved by the Attorney General, but he said we're mostly following town meeting time in the procedures now. Changes would be brought to the spring town meeting. However, town meeting member Karen Conley proposed a study committee, made a motion to create a study committee to look into this. She had lists of who would be on this committee, including the current and one past moderator. There was a motion to amend the motion to exclude the past moderators. That failed. The motion to amend Article 15 was passed by 79 to 68. So basically, Article 15 was referred back to committee, not passed. Article 16 from the Committee on Government Regulations was just cleaning up some definitions and wording in the bylaws. They said if the rules conflict with the town charter rules presides. That passed. 17 was more revisions to bylaws, specifically who can clarify who can speak at town meeting. The requirements for town meeting articles, especially financial articles, must estimate the costs and provide these estimates to the Finance Committee and the rationale for these estimates to the Finance Committee in advance of town meeting. Also define the terms of the office for the Government Regulations Committee. There was also to remove the Human Services Committee because we heard they haven't met in 20 years. The same thing was for the Committee on Equal Opportunity, has not also met in many years. Article 17, all those items were passed. Article 18 was revisions to the town's anti-litter regulations in Chapter 11. That was passed. Article 19 was proposed by the Conservation Committee, which had Wetlands Act revisions to add protection, as they said, to add protection to wetlands due to climate change. The Government Regulations Committee opposed it. There were some concerns on the cost and the clarity of the wording. There was a motion to indefinitely postpone it. That passed. So Article 19, indefinitely postponed. And the final article of the night was a budget article, request from the DPW to transfer $51,000 from the current, from free cash to the current DPW budget for this fiscal year. They said they were needed to meet the cleaning needs at the new, larger Lynch Elementary School and the enlargements to the McCall School. Basically, it was for a one custodian to be split 20 hours a week at each of those schools to meet the increased cleaning needs of the schools. That was passed. So, town meeting adjourned for the night. There is anticipation that the fall town meeting will wrap up next Monday on the 10th, the day before Veterans Day. We will be back covering that, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Thank the WinCam crew here at the Winchester High School, and we will see you next Monday.